What if you could time travel, not in a flashy DeLorean or with a magical wristwatch, but using only your brain? No portals, no complicated machinery, just your mind jumping through time. Sounds wild, right? But let's dive into it and explore how this could work, and the chaos it might cause. Okay, let's set the stage. Imagine you could time travel by simply thinking about it. No need for a crazy sci-fi device. No need to worry about paradoxes or flying cars. Your brain, with all its weird electrical signals and neural networks, could just zap you back to the past or launch you into the future. You could visit your childhood or peek at what the world looks like in 100 years. But how would this actually work? To keep things simple, let's assume that time travel isn't about physically moving through space. Instead, you experience it mentally. So while your body stays in the present, your mind could float into the past or future, as if you're watching a movie but you're fully immersed. Let's start with the past. Say you want to revisit the time you were 10 years old, eating cereal in the kitchen while watching Saturday cartoons. You close your eyes, focus, and boom, you're there in your memory, feeling everything again. You can smell the cereal, hear the cartoons, and even feel the sunlight streaming through the window. Let's start with the past. Say you want to revisit the time you were 10 years old, eating cereal in the kitchen while watching Saturday cartoons. You close your eyes, focus, and boom, you're there in your memory, feeling everything again. You can smell the cereal, hear the cartoons, and even feel the sunlight streaming through the window. But let's say you can somehow unlock a clearer version of these memories, almost like giving your brain a superpower. With time travel, you'd be able to witness events from your life in vivid detail. You could even interact with your past self. Imagine talking to 10-year-old you, giving them advice, or just reliving an old memory in a way that feels real. But here's where things get tricky. Could you accidentally change the past? Probably not, because your brain would only experience the memory as it happened. Think of it like watching a documentary. No matter how much you scream at the screen, you can't change the events. Still, there's a fun thought. What if you could convince your younger self to take a different action? That might make you rethink all the embarrassing things you did as a kid, huh? Next, let's jump to the future. You could decide to fast forward to see what life is like 100 years from now. Would we have flying cars? Or maybe humans will have colonized Mars. But how would your brain even imagine the future? Our brains don't exactly have the data to predict future events in perfect detail. Sure, we can guess, but we can't be sure. It's like trying to describe a world where everything's made out of chocolate. You don't really know if it's possible, but your imagination can take you there. When you time travel into the future, you might not see what actually happens. Instead, you'd experience a version of the future that your brain thinks might happen based on current trends. It's like using a crystal ball that gives you predictions, but they're not always accurate. Maybe you travel to 2050, and instead of hoverboards, you find a world where everyone just talks to each other through holograms. It's not quite what you expected, but it's still pretty cool. So here's the wild part. What if you could time travel multiple times in the same moment? What if you could visit the past, then zip to the future and even experience multiple timelines? Your brain might get overwhelmed by this constant mental time hopping. Imagine trying to juggle all your memories from the past with potential futures. Your mind could start blending them together. One moment you're reliving your first kiss, and the next you're in a utopian future with flying cities. But neither of these things are real at the moment. They're just mental constructs. This could lead to some serious identity confusion. What if you got stuck in the future mentally and your present self was left behind? You'd be living in a constant state of déjà vu, never sure if what you're experiencing is real. The lines between past, present, and future might blur, and you'd struggle to keep track of what's actually happening in your real life. Yikes. In the end, time travel using only your brain sounds like a fun idea, but it's definitely not without its complications. The ability to mentally visit the past or future would be thrilling, but it might also leave you with more questions than answers. Could you change the past? Could you experience the future in ways that aren't quite accurate? Or would your mind just get caught in a loop of memories, trying to make sense of everything? While time travel by brain might never be possible, it's a fascinating idea to think about. It makes you wonder how our minds process time and memory, and whether we're always trapped in the present, or if there's a way to escape to other moments of our lives, at least in our imagination. So what do you think? If your brain could time travel, would you want to relive the past or explore the future? Let me know in the comments, and if you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe for more fun science stories, and share this with someone who loves time travel as much as you do.